Hey y'all, so I just finished the Love After series by Alexandria House, and I loved it so much that I decided, I think I'm gonna do like a little bit of a review of it. Not gonna give too many spoilers, but if there are spoilers, then I'll say so. But there are three books in this series. I think one of the things that I really like about Alexandria House is the fact that she has mini series, but most of them are three books. They're not super long, but even some of them do kind of interconnect, which I think is really cool. But this Love After series is her first series, and I'm actually super glad that I read it because now I want to go in order. I was not reading in order, and I didn't really think that there was a reason to, but I'm glad that a few of the series I read in order, which I will also do some reviews of because I love them that much as well. But the first book in the Love After series is Higher Love, and I loved this book. Okay, Derek and Greer, which one, I think Greer is such a pretty unique name. I like that she did not use, I guess you would say, like just your regular name. Like she really came up with some names in this series, even for the other two books. But Derek and Greer, they were such an interesting couple. This was giving like, oh, random first time meeting, but then it ends up being something sexy, and then they meet again. Derek is a CEO, and Greer is a blogger, a travel blogger to be exact. And of course, they end up meeting again after they have already met the first time, but neither of them knew that either was which of whom they would be meeting with, because Derek is a CEO and he ends up in the meeting with her, so that they can move his, kind of give more promotion to his business, but also for her so that she can make those contacts, make those connections, so that she can bring more traffic to her blog, and obviously make more connections, and obviously travel, do all the food stuff. That's kind of how they met, was at a food festival, which is what I really like because I love me some food. But I thought I don't really know, like I don't really go by tropes when I read books, but this was interesting because Derek had a crazy ex, okay? And she had a cheating ex, and that cheating ex was actually in the book still, which I thought was crazy because how are we starting off the book? Because this is how it starts with, she's traveling and going on a trip, and she all of a sudden finds out that her fiance is engaged to another woman on Facebook, and she's blocked because obviously he doesn't want her to see it. And this is out of the blue, and everybody is kind of what the fucking it up, because who does that? Who does that? But I really enjoyed it because it added a little piece to the puzzle, and he ends up being a very interesting addition to Derek's business because I guess he's good at what he does, but he ends up working for Derek, and which means that they end up having to work together. But it is a very cool dynamic. He realized the errors in his ways, not like it changed anything for their relationship, but he realized that she wasn't happy at one point in this book, and he wanted her to be happy, which I can appreciate because she should be. She should be. And this was a book where lack of trust almost ended their relationship. I loved how they came back from it. There were definitely moments when I was like, Greer, please, just listen to this man, because his crazy ex was crazy. I was not expecting that at all. That was a piece of the book that had me like, damn, like, and it had Greer like, damn, when she realized the error in her ways. It was like, bro, like, I wasn't as mad as at him for not communicating that his ex was as crazy as she was, but I do realize that he needed to communicate with her that he had a recent kind of relationship with his ex. Not sexual, not anything like that, but just like, hey, she was kind of still in the picture because of circumstances. And yeah, it was wild, but I really loved their love story. I also loved checking in on their love story in the other two books later, because they end up with an even more happily ever after with kids and things like that. So I loved that. I gave this book a four stars because it was wonderful. And something that I've noticed in these series by Alexandria House is that she definitely, in these series, it gets better as we go on. So Made to Love, which is the second book in this series, which covers Niles and Trevia. Names. Trevia was a fashion designer, and Niles is like a spoken word, I'm gonna call him poet, speaker, etc. But like a really well-known one that was getting hired and things like that. And she had a lying ex. Trevia had a lying ex, which this is also was crazy, because imagine finding out that the man that I guess you loved, that you also knew, I guess she knew that he was cheating on her, but she didn't know it was like this bad, because he had a wife and she had been with this man for 3 years, and none of his family said anything. It was crazy. Okay. And the crazy part is that this is realistic as hell, because I know people that have experienced shit like this, and it's really sad, because why couldn't you be honest? But also, why wasn't none of your family honest? Like, what? Why would you do that? This was one of those books where her, in this case it's her not being truthful, as in just being honest about the man that was her ex, and him showing up on her, even though she didn't know, it wasn't with her consent and all this stuff. Her just not being open and honest about things that have happened was threatening to ruin this love story for her and Niles. And I love that they got through it, but I also loved that they spent their time away from each other. That's kind of like in the first book as well. There was some time away from each other. In that case, it was Greer spending time away from Derek. In this case, it was Niles spending time away from Trevia, which Niles was talking to his daddy, and his dad was like, you know, you should go back. He was like, that's her? He was like, go back and, you know, talk to her, communicate, because I think that is definitely the element of this series. Like, there really just needed to be some more hints of communication, whether before, during, after certain things, whatever. But they really just needed a little more communication, because they had good things going, and Niles was a super confident man, which is something that Trevia herself was afraid of, because she had been burned by super confident men, and she was wearing that fear on her sleeves. It was impacting the relationship. And there was at one point a scene in the book where she was like questioning this man while he was in Atlanta, and he was like, you questioning me? And I got it, because it was just like, why are you questioning me? He was like, you know what, just come to Atlanta, I'll fly you out, because I'm not finna deal with you doing all of this bullshit. You asking me all these questions. Just come to Atlanta, because I love you, I want to be with you, and I ain't cheating on you. Okay, I'm not like that other nigga. And I like that Niles stood on business. I was also happy with their little love story too. So I gave their love story 4 stars as well. But this last book, Real Love, with Hassan and Denise, I feel this way about the other series. The last book in the series seems to be the best one. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to get these in paperback form. But this was like a love story. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed all of them, but this was like, it wasn't cute, because it's not about being cute, but it was, I guess I could just say it was beautiful. Because so Hassan was a tattoo artist, and I'm gonna call her a loan specialist, okay? Denise was a loan specialist, and she had a scamming ass ex, because she was formerly married and she was divorced, and she had a scamming ex who had got her into some money and credit troubles, which is why she was struggling to rebuild her credit and do all these different things. But she was getting through. And fortunately, though, that scamming ass ex realized the errors in his ways, and he decided to pay her back tenfold. Well, when he won the jackpot. It's actually crazy. I was like, dang, he won the jackpot? Like, damn, did he deserve to win the jackpot? But it's like, hey, I'm at least glad that she got $1 million out of it, because, you know, she deserved it after everything he put her through. But this is like, I guess maybe this is like not second chance, but this was like, you know, she was divorced and this was her second chance at love. And Hassan just so happened to be next door to her mother's business. Her mother had a food business, and so they met that way, because her mother called her and was like, hey, they too loud over there, they bother me, can you just come over and, you know, maybe do something? She went over, she was like, dang, this is very loud. And then she saw Hassan, she was like, oh, this man is fine. Like, so I enjoyed that, but I also enjoyed how Hassan's complex past came up. Ooh, I was mad. I was so mad. It was something that kind of just came up, and I was not expecting it with the relationship to his brother, the relationship with his parents. It was beautiful to kind of see them get through all that. And even though it kind of is like, there's things that are left to just your own understanding, it was nice to see this explored in this book. I really enjoyed that because I wasn't expecting it at all. Honestly, we were going through the book and I was like, oh, they finna have like a easy peasy. And then it was like, oh, and I don't think that really affected their relationship, as in Denise and Hassan's relationship, too much. But there was like a portion of the book where his relationship with his brother was impacting their relationship. And I think that accountability, the growth aspect of it all, was the honesty aspect of it all, because Denise was a very honest person and she was not afraid to hold her tongue. She also wasn't afraid to throw them hands, which I can appreciate, okay? Because she got that old white lady out of there, okay? If you know, you know. But that was probably the thing that was going to threaten their relationship, but it didn't really threaten it as much because Hassan kind of got it together and he took the strides that he needed to make. And then when his past came back up, he was honest about it, like in the beginning. Now, granted, she went kind of crazy because she was throwing shit and doing shit. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, oh, they got you on TikTok. They got you on Instagram. They was videotaping no girl, okay? She was upset, which I guess excuse me. She was upset, I guess understandably, but it was like, girl, just she could have waited a second. I was like, just wait, because why would he be talking to this old lady, okay? No, but I really enjoyed this book. This was 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed the series. Honestly, I can't wait to read the Strickland Sisters series because that's next on my list. And I will see you guys next time. Relationship